Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Cooking for the Family. I'm Dyvonne and today I'm going to share with y'all the best chicken pozole I ever made. It came out so good, y'all. I cannot wait to share this recipe with y'all, all the wonderful fresh ingredients. If you are not familiar with making pozole, I'm going to take you step by step. This right here is some Mexican oregano, and these are our tomatillos we have. We have our peppers. Are y'all ready? Let's get started. Now this is an 8-quart pot that I'm using, and in my pot I put 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Then I have my chicken thighs. These are bone-in chicken thighs. Now you can use bone-in chicken thighs like I'm using, or either you can use a combination of chicken thighs and chicken breast if you like, or you can use just chicken breast. I like the bone-in chicken thighs because when it comes time for the stewing process of our pozole, it is going to hold up very nicely. It's going to yield some wonderful flavor. So what we want to do is, I have my flame on high heat and we're going to sear off a bit our chicken thighs on each side. Now I'm putting in some salt to season our chicken, and I'm using kosher salt. And I took 1 teaspoon of kosher salt and distributed it all over the chicken thighs. Now next we have our tomatillos. This is what tomatillos look like. Tomatillos are not green tomatoes, so you do not want to substitute green tomatoes for tomatillos. It's not the same thing, okay? Now with tomatillos, they come with this husk, and you want to take the husk off, and it's going to be a little sticky. There's like a little sticky film kind of on the tomatillos, and so you're just going to go ahead and you're going to peel off the husk, and then we're going to wash our tomatillos really well in some lukewarm water. And tomatillos come in varying sizes. They can be the size of a golf ball all the way up to a size of, say, a baseball. And so I try to keep them about the same size, just depending on what's available in the store. So we're going to go on ahead and wash those. Now this is our chilies that we're going to be using. One of the chili varieties that we're going to be using. This is a Poblano Chile, also referred to as a Pasillas chili, so it'll be referred to either one of those in the store. We have 1 jalapeno, and I also have the thinner one, is also a Serrano chili. I'm going to check on our chicken to see how it's doing. It is starting to brown up a little bit, and that's what we want. We just kind of want to slightly brown our chicken, just kind of like sear it. We're going to be searing it on both sides, and it's going to be releasing in our pot right now. It's starting to release some really good flavor that's going to help to flavor our pozole. I go ahead and season the other side of our chicken with a little bit of kosher salt as well. And once I flip my chicken over to the second side is when I start to sear off, or we're going to actually roast our chilies. And I'm using my kumal, but if you don't have the kumal like I'm using, you can also use a cast iron skillet, about a 10-inch cast iron skillet. And if you don't happen to have a cast iron skillet, you can roast your chilies and your onion and your garlic. You can roast them on a cookie sheet that has the sides to it. So you want to make sure you have some sides to your cookie sheet. You can roast them on a cookie sheet in the oven at 400 degrees. Now for about 25 to 35 minutes until they're nice and roasted. And periodically you want to be checking to see how your vegetables are roasting up. And I do have my pan, it's on a heat of a medium. Now our chicken is coming along very well. Our chicken is looking good. Let's go on and check on our chilies. So we're kind of doing double duty here because we want to make sure that we keep a good eye on our chilies. So our chilies are starting to roast up nicely. And what you'll notice about the chilies as they're roasting, you're going to get those nice char marks. But in addition to that, your chilies will also start to feel softer. They will start to soften up, as well as your onion. Your onion is going to get some nice char on them, and your onion will also start to get a little bit softer. This is all going to give your pozole some wonderful flavor. And you see how our onions are looking? So they're starting to get just a little bit slightly soft, and they're also getting that nice char. Now with our garlic, the garlic will typically come off of your pan, off of your kumal first before your other ingredients do. Now it's about time to add our chicken stock to our pot. We're going to be using 1 quart of chicken stock, plus also another half a quart of chicken stock. Now I'm using chicken stock, but you can also use chicken broth if you prefer, as well as if you have the chicken bouillon, you can go on and make yourself some chicken broth by using the chicken bouillon, and just look at the directions on the back of the package to get how much that you need for the 2 quarts total that we're going to be using. I go ahead and turn my flame up to a high heat. I put the top on my pot, and we want to bring our pot to a nice rolling boil. My garlic is nice and roasted. When I feel them, they are soft and feel a little squishy in the inside. I'm going to go ahead and take those off my pan right now. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome in. And if you're a returner, welcome back. And I want to thank all my wonderful subscribers for their likes, their shares, their good vibe comments. I really appreciate it. And if you are new and you haven't subscribed, I invite you to hit that subscribe button and become one of my awesome subscribers. And so what I do is I just kind of continue just to kind of monitor the peppers and my onion just to see how they are roasting up and how they're feeling. The onion won't be 100% soft, but they will soften up when it comes to the onion. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take those off as well. I'm going to put them in a bowl, and then I'm going to be covering my bowl with either a top, or either you can cover your bowl with some foil or some saran wrap. Another way with the chilies. And we're doing this because we kind of want to start to sweat off the char. We're going to be taking off some of that char. We won't be leaving it all on, but you can kind of like sweat off the char or moisten the char up by either putting them on in a bowl with a top, or either with some plastic wrap or foil. Another way is you can also put your chilies inside of a Ziploc bag and just let the steam from them kind of loosen up that skin, because we're going to take off some of that skin that's on the outside of the chilies. And I'm going to share with you and show you what that's going to look like. And so all of our peppers are good. Now next we're going to roast our tomatillos. And with the tomatillos, we're looking for the same thing that we were looking for when we were roasting our peppers and our garlic and our onion. You're going to have a char to them. They're going to get a little different in color. Actually, they're going to get a little bit lighter. And your tomatillos will soften up a bit, which is what we want. We want your tomatillos to kind of soften up. You might have a little leakage of the juice. A little bit of the juice from the tomatillo might seep out. And if that happens, that's okay. Now, if you are going to be roasting your tomatillos, you can roast them in the oven, just like you would the peppers and the onion and the garlic. And so you can put the tomatillos on the same roasting sheet as you would those other vegetables as well. And so everything is looking good. They have roasted up nicely. Now I'm going to make the chili verde sauce for our pozole. What you want to do is you want to use your blender, and in our blender, depending on the size of your blender, you can blend all the ingredients. I'm going to be blending them in 2 parts. First, I'm going to blend the tomatillos, and so we're going to put our tomatillos, and I have 10 tomatillos. Now in the description box below, I will have a list of all the ingredients you need to make this wonderful chili verde sauce, as well as all the ingredients and everything that you need to make the wonderful chicken pozole. So I'll go on and I put in my garlic cloves, my roasted garlic cloves, and I put in my tomatillos, and I go on and I blend that. And now we can't forget about our chickens. Time to check on our chicken. Our chicken should be nice and done. It's looking nice and done. It has stewed nicely. I'm going to take the chicken out of the pot because we're going to let this cool. We're going to be shredding our chicken, and then we'll be adding that back into the pot when it's time. So now what I do is once I remove the chicken, then we're going to go ahead and add in our hominy. Now our hominy, I'm using 1 large can. Now this is going to be enough chicken pozole to easily feed a big crowd. This works great if you're going to have folks over, if you are going to be watching the game or for a party. And you can always double this recipe, get a bigger pot and double the recipe to even feed, because this will feed about 10 to 12 people. And so if you want to feed more, you definitely want to double it up. Next, I put in some ground cumin, and I'm putting in 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. Also with our large can of hominy, what I did was I drained the liquid from the hominy. So you definitely want to drain it before you add it to the pot. Then you'll have a little bit of essence of hominy left in the bottom of the can. I just used just a little bit of water, swished it around, and then went on and added that to the pot. Then next I added in some Mexican oregano. Now Mexican oregano, you just want to kind of like pinch it between your fingers and just kind of release like that nice oil from the Mexican oregano, and then I added that to the pot. Now Mexican oregano, if you can't find Mexican oregano, you can use regular oregano as well. Now I'm taking those charred pieces of the onion that we had, I added that to my blender. And I still have my tomatillos are also still in the blender as well. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the chilies. And as you see, what you want to do is any of the dark char on the outside, I took that off. And then now I'm using my knife and I want to take out the seeds. Now, Poblano or Pasilla chilies, they are not known to be a spicy chili. They're not very spicy at all. So it has a nice flavor, but it's not hot or spicy. And again, I just go ahead and I use my knife, and you see how we're taking off some of that skin right there and just a little bit of the char. Not too much, but just a little bit of that char. We want to just take off just like a little bit, and that's what I do. And so we're going to just take off that outside skin, and again we're going to take off the top. I cut off the top just like that. Then we're going to open up our chili. I'm going to go ahead and take out the seeds. I'm not going to worry too much about the vein inside the Poblano chili. And the reason is the Poblano is not spicy. It's not really a spicy chili. And actually, if you've ever had chili relleno before, the Poblano or the Pasilla chili is the chili used to make the chili relleno. So once I go on and I finish up with all of my Poblano chilies, I'm going to go ahead and work on our jalapeno chili as well as our Serrano chili. Now our Serrano chili is similar in taste to the jalapeno chili. The difference is the Serrano chili is 2 to 3 times hotter than the jalapeno chili. Actually, it might be about 4 times hotter than one jalapeno chili. So with the Serrano chili, depending on your heat level, what you want to have for your heat level for your pozole, our heat level is going to be about a 2. We're only going to use 1 Serrano chili. Now, if you want it to be spicier, you could definitely use more of the Serrano chilies. I like to just use 1, and then I'll have any spice on the side if anyone wants to spice up their own personal bowl. But just like I did with the Poblano chilies, I go on and I take off that charred skin. We're going to leave a little bit of the char that's underneath. Definitely want to take out the vein, and you also want to take out the seeds of the Serrano chili. It's going to help it to be a lot less spicier. Now the jalapeno chili is going to give us also that flavor. It's going to give us just a little bit of heat. But again, be sure to take out the seeds as well as that vein that's inside of the jalapeno pepper. I'm going to add my jalapeno pepper to the blender as well. We're going to go ahead and blend our other ingredients that we had already blended, which was the tomatillos and the garlic. We also put in there the onion, and we have also all of our peppers in there, all of our chilies. And so we're going to blend it, do a nice blend. I like to start my blender on low and then just gradually bump it up to high. Once it looks like this and things are blended together nicely, what we do is we're going to add in just a handful of nice fresh cilantro. And this was about a half a cup of fresh cilantro, and I'm using stems as well as leaves. And so I blended it just for about a few seconds. Our hominy is just starting to warm through a little bit. I'm going to bump up my heat from a medium to a high once I add in our chili verde sauce. And so I'm going to put the whole blender of the chili verde sauce. We're going to put in everything. I give everything a nice mix. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to also taste it for seasoning and flavor. Now what's left in the blender, what you want to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of water in the blender. I'm going to swish it around, and I'm going to make sure that I get everything left in the blender into the pot as well. So let's see how we're doing for flavor. It's looking good. So let's see, it's smelling really good in the kitchen. Our flavor, we just needed a little bit more salt. So I added about a half of a teaspoon of kosher salt to my pozole. Then I'm just going to go ahead and let these flavors all come together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have that fire on high, bring this to a nice rolling boil. Once it's to a nice rolling boil, I go ahead and we're going to check it again, and we're going to also add our chicken. So our chicken that we had, our chicken thighs, I went on and I shredded the chicken thighs, and we're going to add that to our pot now. Once I add the shredded chicken back to my pot, I'm going to put the top on my pot, and I'm going to let our Chile Verde chicken pozole, we're going to let this simmer for about 20 more minutes. And so I'm going to just turn my fire down to like a low, and I'm going to let this finish simmering so that way all the flavors finish coming together, and we're going to be ready to have the best bowl of Chile Verde pozole that you have ever had. So our chicken Chile Verde pozole has been simmering for about 20 minutes now. It is looking good. I am going to go on and serve us up a bowl. I'm going to see how we did. And today, this Chile Verde chicken pozole was a request. My husband asked me if I could make his favorite pozole, and this is it. And so I'm going to go on and serve us up some. This is our bowl right here, y'all. But it is not complete until we put our fixings on top. And so our fixings are going to be some cilantro. We're going to put some nice fresh cilantro. We also have some nice fresh lime. You want to put in a little bit of radish. I'm going to put some radish right there. Another topping you can also put on your pozole is some of the oregano, some of the Mexican oregano. And also with the Mexican oregano, where you can usually find it is, you know, those clear cello bags that have the different spices in, and it's usually hanging up on the hooks. That's where you typically are going to be able to find the Mexican oregano. I like a little avocado on mine, so I'm going to go on and garnish mine also with a little bit of avocado. I also put some nice fresh shredded cabbage, so we have some cabbage on top, and we're also going to put our tostadas. With our tostadas, we're going to put a little bit of this Mexican sour cream, and so we're going to just, it's a little bit different than other sour creams. It has a little bit extra flavor in there, and so you'll usually see where it has some sea salt. We can also put a little bit of picante sauce in your on your tostada, or you can put the picante sauce in your bowl. And so we're going to be eating that when we have our pozole. And I almost forgot my lime, and the lime is important because it just brings all those wonderful flavors together. I'm going to give y'all your first bite. Are you ready for your bite? This bite's for you. Okay, I'm going to try my bite and see how we did. Y'all, it is so good. It came out so good. And with our wonderful tostada that we have our sour cream, oh my goodness. I have done my sister-in-laws proud today, y'all. This is absolutely delicious. Well, I hope you give this recipe a try. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go on and hit that subscribe button. It's free. If you like this video and appreciate the content, don't forget to show it some love. Give it a thumbs up. Click share. Share this video with a friend or family. And remember, it's always good when Dyvonne is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.